So now we need to work on the HTML code of the index.html page. So what we need to display, obviously, is that we need to display an input where the user will be able to send a message or a response to the chatbot, and also a button in order to send that response. And also we need to display the chat itself, the conversation itself. So how can we do that? Well, we need here to have obviously the HTML code for this. So what I'm going to do is that here, first of all, I'm going to just leave this h1, and I'm going to say here just chatbot, and you can type whatever you want here. And then I'm going to here create a div. I'm going to first create a div, and that div is going to have the is going to hold the conversation itself, the chatbot itself, the chat conversation. So here I'm going to say div, and then I'm going to create another div here. Here, let me create another div, and that div is going to have an ID called chat box. So this is gonna hold the conversation, the chat box, and inside that chat box, I'm just going to display an initial message that the chatbot is just gonna send initially, because we don't want to leave the user uncertain about what's going on. We need to let the user know that this is a chatbot, and he or she must start interacting with it. So I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna add here paragraph tag, and then inside it I'm going to also add span. So this paragraph I'm going to give it a class. I'm going to give it here a class, and that class is going to be named here a bot text, because obviously this is the text that's going to be sent by the chatbot. And let's say something like hi there, because this is a chatbot, and once the user goes to this page, it's just gonna display this message initially. And then of course, as the user sends messages and interacts with the chatbot, we need to inject the messages here and display them in the chat box later. I'm gonna show you how you can do that. But for now, we need to create another div here just below this one, and that div is going to let the user send the messages. So I'm gonna here create another div, and then I'm gonna give it an ID called user input, and then inside that user input, I'm gonna add two inputs, one input for the text itself that the user is gonna send, and another input for the button. So the first input is going to have an ID, again an ID because we want to style all of these elements. So I'm gonna say here text input, and this input is going to have a type of text, because obviously this is a text. And then I'm gonna also give it a name. We need the name. The name is very important in order to get the text. So I'm gonna give it a name of message, just message, or user message, just to be user message, just to make sense here. And then I'm going to also add a placeholder, because we want to give the user an awesome user experience. I'm going to say here type your message, and then the other input is for the button, and I'm going to also give it an ID, and the ID is going to say it's going to be button input, and the type must be submit, because this is a button, and the value where the text is going to be displayed on that button, whatever you want to display on that button, I'm going to display send, just send. And now we have this code, and this is going to be the code of this page, the index.html. Let me now run our project and show you what's going to happen. Of course, it's going to display this HTML code, but of course it doesn't have any styles yet, so it's not going to look awesome. But let me just show you what's going to happen. Let me run my script. I'm going to here start debugging, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So let me now head on over back to the browser and refresh and show you this page. Now this page is deployed on the main root, which is just /. So if I refresh, so as you can see now we have this page. We have here h1, and then we have here hi there, sent initially by the bot, and we also have here an input and a button. Of course, we need to add designs to these elements in order to make our application look amazing.